Welcome back, everybody. Another 2 weeks off, but we're back. I think this is episode 12 or something like that. We are the rest of the field. My name is Jason Gorman with Chris Weiler, Justin Matzik, we call him Deke, and Ben Christensen. We're getting right into it. We got a lot to cover because we actually have some things to talk about because some sports are back. So big news. The rest of the field is going to cover more than just TV shows and weird drafts of anything that we can think of to fill time while we don't have sports. So we're diving right in. After 2 weeks off, we're back with What's on Deke's Dome. So Deke, take it away. What's on that head of yours?
So I really think I hit the mark here this week. I finally took all your advice from all the weeks, everything that you guys wanted, all your feedback. I have a Brewers New Era cap, but it's a special design cap. It's got the state outline with the gold and royal glove logo, gold and royal glove logo on the side. And the shirt to go along with it is a replica Brewers jersey, same colors, gold and royal, not very old. Golden Royal logo on the side of the sleeve. Everything should match up. Brewers started season this weekend, so I thought it was a good pick.
So
if I don't get fives on this, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You said it's not that old, but I mean, it looks weathered in the front in terms of like the screen print or whatever. Is it just it didn't hold up to washing, or
no? That's the whatever they call it.
It's made
the
to
style.
Look distressed.
Yeah, distressed. Yeah, I mean, I should have remembered that, but I didn't.
Okay, interesting. All right, so Ben, we'll start with you. Ben, what do you think? What are you giving it out of 5 here?
Oh, Deke's got my full 5.
Wow.
Right
You
there.
need a story.
And a high five.
Yeah.
Okay, full 5.
I love the hat.
Ben.
Yep, the hat's one of my favorites. I've never been too keen on, I guess, if it matches up, it's nice to have some symbiosis. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't think I'm using that right, but it's nice to have some sort of matching between the two. But no, I love that hat.
Interesting. Okay. Chris?
Dee, can I see your shoes real quick? I'm going to give you a 4.8, and that's a fantastic score. If I could see some white shoes, yellow, blue, anything on that end, you get my full 5. But
currently not wearing shoes.
Ooh, that might be a 4.6 now.
We'll
stick with 4.8.
I'm wearing pants.
No, it's a great combo. I love it. It's fresh, and glad to have Brewer baseball back.
All right, so we got a 5 and a 4.8. I unfortunately have to be the bearer of bad news. It's only going to be a 3.5 out of me.
What?
I actually like the shirt. I like the combination. Just not a fan of the hat. I'm not a fan of different designs on baseball hats. I'm a purist for baseball hats. Give me either a new logo or a retro logo, but I don't do all, like, for me personally, I don't like the different designs. You know what I mean? What I'm saying with I like the concept. I just would rather have a big ball and glove. Like if it was just the retro royal ball and glove logo, all for it. It's just it's too, I'm just being real.
Haters gonna hate.
I guess. I mean, if that makes me a hater, then sorry.
I got these bolts at the Bayshore Mall, Milwaukee. No, Weiler knows what that is.
Oh yeah.
I'm interested why they went small ball and glove logo next to small ball and glove logo. Like they're really close to each other because the front one's offset. And it just, like, if you turn slightly to the side, you see 2 of the exact same logo. Other way. Yeah, exact same logo. It's just a little weird for me. Again, I'm just a baseball hat purist. So sorry to damper.
It looks like it pops out. Is it like a 3D glove and ball?
Well, the front one, yeah, the front one would always be 3D.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that didn't work.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Too high in the mountains.
All right. Yeah, I got you.
And it's got a star where Milwaukee is.
Yeah.
So
I wish I could
come around
on it, but
Yep, we see
And then
that. What was the other buy one get one that you bought with this?
I don't remember.
Ooh,
Gotcha.
yeah, see, story's even lacking too. So,
It was our first brewer game though with my wife.
ooh, okay, a little
As
memory.
your wife or as a girlfriend?
As a girlfriend.
Ooh, that's okay then.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that
guys-
wraps up.
You guys know how those weekends go.
Oh Lord, that's on that note.
I don't.
we're
Please
gonna-
elaborate.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up.
I
What's
figured
on
you'd be
me,
the one,
so-
Meg.
Yeah, you guys can talk about that offline. So pretty high scores for 2 out of the 3. I had to be the downer. Didn't mean to be. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the others. So we'll see if D can get all high scores. Hopefully next week. Not in 2 weeks. We'll see how our schedules all align here when we're coming out with the next episode. But we're gonna keep moving because again, got a lot to cover. So we did. Oh, I didn't change the headline on this one. We did a 2-man draft for the Memorial Tournament, which was 2 weeks ago. And I went with Tiger Woods and Patrick Cantlay. Chris went with Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. Deke went with Dustin Johnson, Harold Varner III, and Ben with Justin Thomas and Roy McIlroy. We did a Twitter vote on this. I believe Ben came out on top of that one. And then we were ultimately, the winners were chosen by who made the most amount of money in the final purse that was given out after it all wrapped up on Sunday. So Ben ran away with this one. He had 2 placers, Justin Thomas being the higher of the 2 in his group. I had Patrick Cantlay, who fell back. Had he maybe stayed where he was on Sunday, he kind of fell back to the pack. I think he shot like a 79 on Sunday, and Tiger placed. He was just not super high. Deke, unfortunately, neither guy making the cut. And for Chris, only Koepka made the cut. So congratulations to Ben on walking away with the Memorial Tournament 2-man challenge. Ben, any champions thoughts on that?
I will just give a shout out to Chris. Bryson put up, I think, a 10 or 11 on a hole on Friday before
Not
cut.
really a shout out.
Just saying, Chris could have been there. Bryson was doing decent. He was trending towards making the cut, and then he just had the one hole where he imploded. So, but apparently, you can't go against.
There's going to be a
good
lot
picking.
of that with Bryson. Let's be honest. He seems a little edgy.
He's volatile, but you know what? We're actually gonna cover some golf here in a little bit. So congratulations, Ben, on that. And then we will turn to our fast food draft, which was 2 weeks ago. Menu 1, that was Ben with Culver's, Popeyes, Jimmy John's, and Sbarro. Menu 2, that was
me.
Chris. Yeah, Taco Bell, Chipotle, Arby's, and Shake Shack. That we actually kind of thought was the overall.
Well, it is the best, but that's
the
fine.
heavyweight of the group. And I was menu 3, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Dairy Queen, and Five Guys. And Deke went with some of the staples with McDonald's, Subway, Little Caesars, and KFC. And lo and behold, even though we gave him such a hard time for his awful Sbarro pick at the end, I do believe that Culver's carried him to the championship here. I was right behind him with menu 3, and then it went Deke. And actually, Chris, who we all thought kind of had the top one, he came in last place. So Ben, again, I'm coming back to you. Any thoughts on your victory here in the fast food draft?
Sorry, I got disconnected there a little bit, but it's got to be all Sbarro, right? That obviously you guys are just haters.
Okay,
You're the only
moving
3 out
on
there who
from the
doesn't
fast
like
food
it.
draft. Then, unfortunately, we must have a bad connection with Ben. It sounded like he started talking about Sbarro, and nobody really cares about that. So, no,
I got one problem with Ben's menu that just bugs me because everybody that voted for Culver's obviously has never eaten at Popeyes because a lot of those places don't have it, and it's just like that group of people was just true Culver's. You won it on one pick.
I was going to ask Ben if he's ever even eaten at Popeyes.
Oh, you kidding me? I eat at Popeyes all the time.
He's in Atlanta. They got Popeyes.
Yeah,
we do.
Have you ever eaten at Popeyes prior to Atlanta?
Yes, it used to be every time we went down to Milwaukee, I would try to stop there and get some.
Okay, so it wasn't very often. So
Correct.
It's
Maybe once or twice a
Ben.
year.
It was a personal pick for Ben with Popeyes. I didn't think Jimmy John's was a strong pick because Subway was also out there, and Sbarro was a terrible pick. So Ben, I mean, he couldn't go wrong with the number one. Well, he could have if he didn't pick Culver's, but Ben, 2 drafts on the week that you won. Congratulations, sir. Good job.
Can I get
Let's
a
see
whoop
if
whoop?
No, let's see if you bring the heat here now. Wow, that is disturbing. Don't hurt yourself. Okay, so like I said, we are going to talk some golf here, and we're going to leave the update on the PGA Tour to the 2-time draft winner from 2 weeks ago, Mr. Ben Christensen. What do we got on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, so this week they're running the 3M Open up there in Blaine, Minnesota, right outside the cities.
So when you say this week, are you talking currently finishing up today, or are you talking this next coming week?
Okay. Final round is today. Next week they're actually playing in Memphis, Tennessee. I believe it's the St. Jude Classic. Again, from what I've seen, the St. Jude is basically just a warm up for what will end up being the first major of the year in 2 weeks from now, out in San Francisco. That is the PGA Championship. So we're inching closer and closer to that. No, not really. There was probably, I mean, not a lot of the big names. Tony Finau is probably the biggest name who's in the field right now and who's actually playing well. Matthew Wolff is having a pretty good tournament this week. Other than that, it's some other guys who you haven't heard a lot of.
Who?
Tony Finau?
No, Matthew who?
Matthew Wolff? You never heard of him? He's a newer guy. He's an up and coming rookie. He was one of the guys. Yeah, he was on the TaylorMade
swing.
Yeah,
he's got the most unique swing in golf.
Yes.
I haven't watched a lot, and to be honest, when it gets to when I do watch on say Sunday, they're showing all the big names. They don't show a ton.
He was leading last week.
Yeah,
I didn't watch last week.
He also was in the pair when during COVID was fully locked down strong.
He played with Ricky Fowler during that TaylorMade driving relief one that they did against Dustin Johnson and Rory. You didn't? Okay.
Nope, I didn't watch that one because it wasn't very interesting to me. Sorry.
Look it up. Just seriously, just YouTube Matthew Wolff.
So
he's got the funniest swing.
You watch,
right? So
you got to go back to the episodes.
Okay, so are we talking like Jim Furyk, like just different from normal, or are we talking like Charles Barkley?
No,
like
it's like Charles. It's like Charles
but
Barkley.
Just pure.
He's got this little hitch in his swing before he does his swing, where he does like the shoulder turn and then he comes back to set.
Wait. Okay, so Ben, can you back up a little bit and just give us a demo? I think this is great for all those who are watching. I want to see. I don't know, so this is great for me. But anybody else watching, I think if you can pull your car over to the side of the road if you're on your way to work. Let's just get, if you don't know Matthew Wolff, it's Wolf like the animal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is his swing.
He's got his setup. It's kind of hard to see here, but he'll get like this, and then he'll do and then swing
like that. Like that's
I
not
may have
exaggerated?
No, I may have exaggerated it a tiny bit, but not much. No.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
And he also really kicks forward the front foot. You know, so a lot of PGA golfers, the front foot stays flat and it's all hips and back. He kicks his foot forward like a baseball swing. You know what I mean?
And then isn't he a top 5 distance driver in the?
Oh yeah,
PGA,
he bombs the ball.
Right?
I mean,
he's right behind
kills it.
Cambo.
He kills it.
He picks his front foot up.
Yeah, well, not all the way, but he does.
It's like a tilt, like a baseball swing almost.
Yeah.
So he's almost got like a toe tap, like a not full leg kick in baseball, but kind of like he lifts his heel off the ground. He doesn't do the long drive swing where the guys like literally pick their foot up and turn and unload. Not that.
He would win a lot of money at every country club in the United States because they would see him warm up and they'd be like laughing at him for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And
wow.
He was like the national golfer of the year in college at Oklahoma State. So that was like the big combo with him and Ricky for the driving relief thing because they went to the same college. So
he'll be good.
So
yeah,
Ben,
yes, he's already got a tournament win, so he'll be good.
Who is looking like they might have a chance at winning this weekend today?
Finau is in good position. Actually, now that you said that, I've got the leaderboard up here. It looks like he just must have birdied the third hole, so he's now in a 3-way tie with Michael Thompson and Rich Warinsky.
Oh yeah,
Wolf,
he's a favorite.
Yep. Wolf is 2 strokes back. Charles Howell III is a few strokes back, but Tony's 2 under through 3, so off to a good start.
All right, cool. And you said it should be a loaded field next week.
Next week is kind of hit and miss. Some people take it as a week off to prepare for the majors. Other people get it in as a practice week. More often than not, you've got fewer big name guys.
When is the first major?
It'd be 2 weeks. So not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. I think it's
which one is that?
First weekend of August. It's the PGA Championship.
Okay. And where's that one?
I forgot what course it's at, but I know they're playing out in San Francisco.
Is that one moves?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Different place every year. Really, the only one that's the same every year is the Masters.
Okay. All right. Anybody else on any PGA news, thoughts, concerns?
Which guys are due, Ben? My big thing is whatever guys are due. So can you tell me?
Which guys
Deke
are due?
Deke needs some help because he's always going to pick DJ, and then he needs a good number 2 pick because he's been struggling.
Yeah.
Well, DJ's not due. DJ just won a couple weeks ago.
And then missed a cut.
That was the problem with Deke's last draft, remember? He kept saying the next guy was due.
And DJ hasn't just missed cuts lately. He's been putting up big numbers. He even withdrew this week after
16.
he did bad. I don't know. Maybe Tigers do.
Who's a guy you like, Ben? Who's a dark horse other than Matt Wolff? Who's another no name that you're like, you know what? I like that guy's game.
Victor Hovland.
Hovland?
Hovland. Yep.
Where's he from?
He's from overseas originally, but he was on the same college golf team as Matthew Wolff at Oklahoma State.
Loaded.
They both went pro at the same time. Yeah, they were stacked.
The Cowboys, right? I think they're the Cowboys.
Yep, Oklahoma State Cowboys.
What about Jay Rose? Is he due? Or did he
Justin Rose.
He's got a win earlier this year, but he's been coming back. He just went through. I think he changed who he was working with. Due, yes.
Ben,
Brooks is due. Brooks is due for his 3-peat.
Mr. Koepka's due. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting in a couple of weeks to see how all these guys play in the majors because that's what it's all about, right? It doesn't matter who's winning. You know, these little tournaments, they're all geared up for the big ones, for the majors. So, Ben, I appreciate the update on golf, and we're going to continue with the sport updates, and we are actually going to turn it over to Deke with the NBA update. So, Deke, what's going on in the bubble?
Well, my preparation wasn't all that great. I'll throw that out there to begin with, but they started the first game Thursday, which is awesome. I think everybody's excited about that.
And how many are they playing? Regular season?
8 games, regular season, finishing that out, and then they get into the playoffs. And I think the only adjustment in the playoffs is the first round is 5 games, then the rest are all 7.
And Bucks are 1 seed. How are they pretty much locked? I mean, what are the chances that they move down to a 2 seed with these last 8 games?
They can lose them. I mean, they're the 1 seed.
Got it.
So, couple cool things I like about it is I think they've done a good job watching the scrimmage games. They space out the players that are sitting on the bench, and I think partially social distancing, so they're 6 feet apart. But it gives a perception like there's people there, kind of up the bleachers and stands.
Have you seen the Miami Heat home court?
Not yet.
They have digital screens all around the court, and they have
they don't all have
fans
that?
piped in. No, not yet, but they're trying to get all of them in.
So what they're gonna do, that's a really cool thing. What they're gonna do is when the playoffs start, they will have, all the courts will have those, and they have fans streamed in, and each team is picking 300 fans that can stream in during the game, during each game. They want to do that. I don't know where you go to sign up for that. And my guess is you would just go to the team's website, and I would guess you can find it on there somewhere where you can put your name in to do that. But I think that's really cool. I think it's innovative to try to get fans right in the, as you can see them on the court and them cheering or whatnot as you're watching the game. But
yeah, it's a cool. I've seen the different stuff on social media. I haven't watched any games, but sorry, I have one fly in this garage that keeps landing on my head, and I just showered too, so I'm clean. Yeah, sorry, in my studio. I mean, it's in the garage. I put the studio in the garage, so I don't take up any space in the house. So it's really awesome because it's probably this. It appears to be at least the size of like a household wall in terms of height, and then it goes around above like the player's bench, like you said, which is, it looks like it's maybe 3 to 5 rows of a bench. So they're kind of spaced out there, and it's a huge screen, and it just shows different graphics. And as somebody scores, they'll put up that person, but then they'll also pipe in defense chants and show fans doing it. I've seen that. I thought it was for everybody. I thought, how many courts do they have? Because I just assumed 2 teams
they all
would
have
play.
their own court.
There's that many courts?
Well, no.
Because I've been in the, are they playing in the Milk House? Because I've been in the Milk House. We played there when I was coaching, and it's not that big of a facility. So there's got to be some changing in and out of courts and other stuff.
Different locations,
unless they're playing multiple
believe.
Sites.
They have their own courts, but I think once the playoffs start, I don't think they're using them all. They're like for practice.
Oh, so I thought they were using them all. We'll have to look this up, because I thought each court could play their own sounds during the game, like cheers or boos, whatever it is, if the home team wants to run the digital side of it. So we'll have to look at that.
It could be. I mean, nonetheless, I think going back to just the whole NBA, I think they're doing a good job of it. I think it's pretty successful to this point. Outside of that, I'm just basketball is my thing, obviously. And just thinking about the teams in the East, people always talk about the Eastern Conference and how it's the weaker conference, but I don't know. I almost think it's the stronger conference. I mean, you have the Bucks, the Heat would be my 2 favorites in the East, followed by Philadelphia and Toronto, and then a sleeper would still be Boston, in my opinion. And then when I look at the Western Conference, to me, it's just the Lakers and the Clippers. I know the Nuggets are down to like 7 players for whatever reason, injuries or so. And they're currently the 2 seed, but after that, you have the Rockets, but I don't know. I just don't see them as a favorite. I just don't like their makeup of how they play basketball. I don't think they could win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Update 2, coronavirus update. Lou Williams is positive. He's leaving the bubble.
Was he? Because I know
he got booted.
The gentleman's club.
Yeah, he went to a gentleman's club, but he eventually owned up to it, and then he went into. They gave him a 10-day quarantine, but he's positive on top of that.
Yeah, he's COVID positive, so he's out of the bubble.
And Bledsoe for the Bucks has got to be close to coming back, or is he back?
Yeah, he's practiced for a few days, so he's fine. And also Planet Pat's back too. He got back yesterday, but he was positive. I believe, right?
Planet Pat? Yeah, I think so.
That's his Twitter
nickname.
handle.
Like Planet, like the planet Earth.
Yeah. That's your boy, man. You gotta know that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know his nickname. I didn't know that's what he went. I mean, the dude just jumps out of the gym and plays hard. So.
Real quick side thought, Deke. Do you like the Ben Simmons moving to a power forward?
And shooting threes.
I mean, if he can make his shots, that's fine.
He hasn't made one, though, right?
Because
I think it's a great idea, though, because you put another guard on the court, and he definitely goes to the lane a lot. So you might as well have guards around him to shoot, compared to having a big guy clog up the lane. Makes sense to me.
I mean, the issue that you have is if he can't shoot yet. So
yeah, that's what the point guard can do now.
Rodman, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can shoot, that's probably a good idea. If he really still can't shoot, he needs to do what he does best, which is run the floor, see the floor, distribute the ball.
Yeah.
So
Bucks play on Thursday, or
Bucks first game is Friday. Just the league start, like the games start on Thursday.
Okay, and so they're playing Friday. Who do they play?
Boston.
Yeah. All right.
I've heard the Bucks. I guess the first 8 games, Budenholzer said that he's kind of just gonna make sure everybody plays, rotate them in. Not that they don't want to win the games, but
right, more of an extended camp.
Yeah, because they don't have to.
Great to know for betting for all of our listeners.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. As betting, starts to amp up in all of these sports, it's obviously been going for golf, but there's a little, I don't want to say less that you do in golf. There's just some more things, obviously DFS in terms of daily fantasy is a much bigger thing for the NBA and for baseball. And I mean, it's still definitely there for golf and for MLS, but in terms of those two, there's a lot more going on, or seems to be that way. Deke, why the hell did you raise your hand?
I just want you to know I got one final question, and then we can move to the next sport. But you can finish your thought. That's why.
No, that was it. I mean, I figured we would all just talk when we needed to. So
quick poll. MVP. Who do you guys have? I got Giannis. This could be easy, but and let's see if anybody has LeBron. I got Giannis.
It's gonna be a co
MVPs.
Yep, it's gonna happen.
I'll take LeBron just to be different. Ben?
Yeah, it's such a weird year. I guess I'd still go Giannis, but yeah.
LeBron's a freak, man. I mean, you just watch him and you're like, what in the world? He's been playing for how long now? 18 years, 17 years?
Yeah, and he's just a freight train. I mean, that dude.
His beard is fully gray basically now, and he just like, it's just unreal.
Couldn't get those hair implants done. He's getting a little bald spot back.
And it's so weird that, like we view him as like an old player, but he's our age. Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't he seem like he's like older than Deke? And I mean, Deke's pretty old.
Did you see Deke going out there and playing 40 minutes?
I feel like if I got 40 seconds.
Right.
That guy's a freak.
Yeah, he definitely is. Awesome. Well, Deke, thank you for the update on the NBA. And with that, we're going to turn it over to Chris with the MLS. I think I have the right. Is this the 25th year of MLS? I was kind of surprised when I saw the logo.
25th year.
Wow.
So what's going on in soccer?
Soccer, quick update. So group stage is over, which was, again, it was an odd formation. Group stage counted towards regular season games in the MLS. And then they had 16 of those teams qualify for now what is just a tournament to win cash. So the winner of this tournament, behind me, I don't know if it's very clear, if it's very big in the background. It's probably pretty small for you guys, but they have it bracketed off. Game started last night. So you win, you stay. You lose, you go home. So
oh, wow.
That's good to see. And then let's go right to this. They came out yesterday from, can't see that either, huh? We'll see if I can do some manipulating here.
There you go.
We got MLS is doing their restart. So we're going to restart on August 22nd, and each team is going to hold at least 9 home games in their own market. They're going to play 18 games. So I think they've already got 5 in now for the season. So I'll add 18 more. And then they said they're going to expand the playoffs from 14, I believe it was, all the way up to 18 teams, which honestly, with I think they have maybe 24, 25 teams in the league. Pretty much only the bottom 2 teams don't make it, so it has to be pretty much a money play by the MLS just to draw revenue. So, yeah, pretty exciting for me.
Where are they getting the money from for this tournament that's going on right now?
That's purely sponsors. I mean, there's other tournaments that they had to cancel for this just to happen. And obviously Fox, ESPN, and A couple other networks pick these up, so I'm sure they're getting paid.
You know what the
quick
payout
side
is?
note, I believe it's $1 million or $1.5 million for the winner. So
Okay.
it's pretty good money for a roster that only has maybe 15 guys on it, 16 guys. So it's a good chunk of change. I think that they start making money after they make the quarterfinals, though. So they have to win 2 more games to make extra cash. So cool stuff. But quick side note, NBA is doing the 300 fan things. MLS did that for all their games on this tournament. So you could go to the team's website, click a link, and then they had scoreboards on the side of the stadium that fans would appear like just randomly throughout the game, and you could be cheering with your webcam on. So probably just pretty similar idea for the NBA, but seemed to work out pretty well.
Can I get a Loons update?
Loons update, man. They're rolling. They're in second place in the West. They haven't lost a game yet this season. Yeah, doing well.
How's our guy doing? How's Ethan doing? I saw he came down with an injury. Is that going to cost him any time?
Ethan's been playing real well. He had a couple goals in the first half the other night. He is 1 goal away, I believe. I'm sorry, 1 assist away from joining the MLS 40 for 40 club, which is pretty awesome. It's, I think, under 50 people have ever done that. So that's pretty awesome. He's, one of our hometown friends from growing up. Yeah, he got injured. He did go into an advertising board the other day in the second half. He cut open his knee. So should just got some stitches. Hopefully can play the next game, but we'll see.
Yeah, it looked pretty deep. I heard he might have maybe gotten into a little bit of trouble by tweeting out what he did.
Yeah, I was surprised he did that, but I wonder what all happened. But he probably ruffled some feathers. He tweeted out that sponsorship money was greater than MLS player safety. So I don't think that went over too well. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's got a point though. I mean, as soon as it takes somebody getting hurt, right, until they decide, oh, maybe that's not the best idea. Like they're just going to assume that it
makes no sense where the placement of this ad is, and that's what it caused him to run into a sign. So very interesting.
I personally don't watch soccer outside of Olympics and the World Cup, so I don't really have a whole heck of a lot to add. Ben, you used to be I don't know if I want to call it an avid soccer player, but
played it.
Do you have any? Yeah, I played it. Do you follow it at all?
No, I'm kind of the same as you. I'm just a World Cup sort of guy. Olympics every once in a while, but
so the Olympics, they got moved a year, right? They're going 21 now instead of which is a bummer because that was I like that. I like the Olympics. So, Chris, sorry. Any final? I wish I had more to add on soccer. I just don't.
No, I knew we'd be quick on it. Honestly, I probably wouldn't watch as much either if we didn't have that personal connection to it. So,
it'll be fun
if they make the finals, I will let you guys know so that we can all have a little tunage.
There we go.
I will say, in living in La Crosse here in the western part of Wisconsin, I think people will be surprised at how much like Loons gear and stuff there is over here. People do like, having the team in Minnesota. When I see they're on TV, I watch them.
If you ever get a chance to go to their stadium, it's world class. Honestly, it's incredible. So it's brand new, just opened last year.
Outdoor, like open stadium.
Outdoor open stadium.
Well, it's like a.
Well, it's kind of domed in, but there's still a hole.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's really huge down here in Atlanta, and we talked about that
yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they let them go after the tournament. No, they went 0 for 3 in their 3 season games at group stage, and they parted ways with their coach.
There you go, Ben.
Yeah. Ooh, Ben, you can get in there.
But yeah, their market is unbelievable, and the stadium, of course, is phenomenal.
Right. Yeah, they're playing in the football stadium, so they have. I mean, and they sell it out too. So if if the Falcons don't. If they don't start competing here, I know they had a down year last year. If they don't start competing, they're gonna start losing out. People are gonna start associating Mercedes-Benz Stadium with the soccer team more than they do the NFL football team. So, Chris, awesome update on MLS. We'll look forward to some more updates on the tournament and then the restart that follows in later August. So, with that, our last one to cover here, I'm going to cover baseball, which just started up a couple days ago, and apparently my picture must be really. Oh, I guess I had to click one more time. Whoops. And we'll just leave it there. So baseball started up. The Brewers are 2 games in. They're actually going to start up here in about 20 minutes. I think they start at 2:20 or 1:20 your guys' time. Playing the Cubs, so they are currently 1-1. If you didn't know what happened in the first 2 games, not a lot in game number 1. They had 3 hits all told, which were all made by the Nino, Orlando Arcia. He had all 3 hits in the number 9 position, which Chris in our little group text informed us. He saw a tweet that it is the first time that a team that only had 3 hits in the game, that all 3 hits came from the number 9 hitter. So that's the first time since like the 1900s that has happened. In that game, Ryan Braun was also the first ever player to get an at-bat as a DH, now that all teams have a DH hitting. So Ryan Braun has that honor, even though the Cubs also had a DH. Braun got his at-bat before the Cubs DH got theirs. So he will go down in the record books as the first player to be the designated hitter in Wrigley Stadium. So obviously that dates back quite a while. Brewers won yesterday. What was it, 8-3, something like that. A lot of the new guys contributed there. Omar, the catcher, and Garcia had a couple hits. He's playing right field. Justin Smoke had a homer off the foul pole. Yelich went deep, finally got his first hit of the season, dead center. So that was good to see because he had been struggling a bit. And Lorenzo Cain had 3 hits in that game as well. So the offense, and Arcia did not have a hit. So he went our only 3 hits in game number 1. And then if you watch the game, he was just swinging for the fences every time he got to the plate. It was like, oh yeah, I got this. New season, new me, just was swinging for the fences. It was funny. Typical Arcia. So they play again today, and Freddie Peralta is on the hill. Woodruff and Burns were the 2 starters from the first 2 games, although Brent Suter got the W in game number 2. All told, it's kind of baseball as usual outside of no fans. Fox is doing something a little different they're basically taking the fans from MLB The Show, and they can manipulate the outfits that they have on, and they can essentially put them in the stands. With my MLB.com or app subscription, I don't necessarily get all. I was watching the Fox coverage, but I only saw the fans in the stands a couple times. So it was interesting. I didn't really care because, to be honest, baseball's baseball. It's not in the playoffs. Maybe it's different when you got a packed house and everybody's, screaming and yelling and waving flags. But for regular season games, fans don't really matter all that much. So apparently the players are talking like they miss having the fans. I'm sure they do, but baseball's back. For me, it's big. I love watching the Brewers. So I'm getting ready to watch them here in about 20 minutes, probably be a little bit late as we finish this one up. Anything that anybody else saw that was cool that they didn't like, that they feel like adding into the MLB update?
So DH, is that just for this 60 game season, or is that for good?
Yeah, no, it's they did it for this year. The same with the extended playoffs. So the playoffs are now going to be 16 teams, which is the first and second place team from each division, and then the top 2 teams from, regardless of record, from both the NL and the AL. So if the Brewers don't make it this year, they really struggled, although they have probably one of the toughest divisions to play in because you have the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Reds with their new lineup. So it'll be a race to the finish for sure, but they basically say if you're thinking of a full regular season, that each game is worth 3 times as much as it typically does. So being 1-1, they're doing all right. They didn't start 0-2, so we'll see if they can pull out a win and get a series victory in Wrigley today. So any other thoughts on baseball?
Yeah, so the 10th inning, guy in second, right? I love it.
Yep.
I think it's a great addition. I think it kind of speeds up the end of the game a little bit. We're not going to see many 16, 17 inning games. How do you feel about it? Because you're more of a traditionalist, I say, for baseball standards or so, but you like it so far?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously it came in yesterday, and now you're hearing from the pitchers, but it's like it's for everybody, right? It wasn't like just that game. Now we're trying it out. Everybody has to deal with it if they get to that point. You can't say you didn't have your opportunities to get the lead in regulation. So these are the rules now, and that just is what it is. It takes a little getting used to, but like you said, hopefully that ends games in the 10th, 11th, 12th, as opposed to games going on into 16, 17, 18 innings where you're using your entire bullpen, especially because there's only 6 days off. It's 60 games in 66 days. So you don't want to tax your entire bullpen and having to use maybe starters or position players as pitchers. So hopefully it's something new. And I think adding the DH for the NL, it takes some of, especially the Brewers, the stuff that council does with matching up players. Now we also have where a reliever has to face 3 batters at a minimum, or they have to end the inning that they're coming into. So what council did in years past, we'll see how that translates, because he was definitely a situational pitcher to batter type manager where he was bringing guys in left and right. So it'll speed up the game all told. We'll see. I don't know. It'll take getting used to. I'm not a traditionalist in the sense where like bang the drum, gotta be old school baseball. I'm all for it, man. Bring more people that are our age and younger into being fans, because there's way too many people that just go to ball games to sit at the bar and socialize as opposed to actually watching the game. So if you can get more people to turn around on their bar stool and watch the game and partake at home. And I think once betting gets to be a much bigger deal too, in terms of full betting in all states, you're going to see much more, a lot more people tuning in to games because the live betting aspect.
Yeah, that's a great analysis. I mean, I think the only thing that really does is if it turns into the 10th inning and I see a game is tied, I'm probably going to tune in because I want to see what could happen right away. So instead of being like, oh, well, whatever, it's an extra innings. Now I kind of want to see the end result.
Yeah, it's one single, could bring the guy in from second, or you might bunt and get the guy over from third. Now you have a sac fly opportunity. So a lot of things that can happen, and it'll be interesting to see. So we're only 2 games in, super excited for it, and Brewer game today before they leave Wrigley. So Ben, Deke, you guys got anything on base? Oh God, I saw Deke raise his hand again. So Deke, what do you got? You're muted, bud.
I want to know, besides the everybody's picking Yankees and Dodgers.
Right.
So excluding those 2 and the Brewers, who do you guys have winning it all?
Ooh. It's too early.
It's too early.
Yeah. I'll throw mine out there. I got the Reds.
Wow.
Sleeper.
Yeah, I don't know that they have the pitching, but they certainly have an updated lineup. Chris or Ben, you guys can chime in. I'm just trying to think of some where everybody has ended up.
Not the Yankees.
Yankees, Dodgers, Brewers.
I tell you what, if the Astros win this year, man, I'm out.
They really got off easy because they don't have fans in the stands. So we'll see piping in fan noise if these other teams, when they go on the road, are going to start letting them have it with some more booing and stuff like that. Because, yeah, their scandal, they really got off easy. So are you picking the Astros?
I was going through to see who I like, and I was like, Houston. I hate Houston.
I'll go with Washington. They got hit literally the day that the season started on Thursday that Juan Soto tested positive, so he's out right now. So that's a big toll to start the year. They don't traditionally start fast, so it'll be interesting. But they certainly have the pitching with Scherzer and Strasburg, who got scratched yesterday or today. Yesterday, and then Patrick Corbin. I mean, they got the big three in terms of pitching. So we'll see if they can repeat. I don't know, but when they get Soto back, if they can hang tight in their division and make the playoffs, they're certainly going to be one of the top teams.
I'll go with the Angels. They're going to make a couple trades. They got a lot of money. They'll make a move.
I'd love to see Trout in some meaningful games. I know everybody loves Yelich. Trout to me has always been, I mean, for the last how many years now, has been the best player and still is. And not to take anything away from what Yelich has done, but Trout is just year in, year out, whether it's injury or not, he always is killing it. So I'd love to see him in, like a game to get to the World Series or actually in the World Series. So that'd be awesome. Ben, you got a pick?
Too soon.
Okay. All right. Thanks for helping out. So Ben, we're going to stay right with you. We're going to go into what else are you watching? Well, I guess we'll be quicker on this because there's been some sports. There's been some more stuff to watch. But outside of sports, what else are you watching, Ben?
Still watching Entourage.
Okay. Nice little show.
Yeah, nice little show. Entourage. Don't know if you heard of it. I did get a little bit excited about a show coming up today just because I realized Hard Knocks is coming out in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Gotcha.
So excited for that. August 11th is going to be the first drop date.
Would you like to let everybody know if they don't know who the team is?
It's actually the LA, so it's the the Rams and the Chargers.
Yep.
So.
All right, so that's it, Entourage, and then you're just getting hyped for Hard Knocks.
Yep, I might even go back and watch past seasons of Hard Knocks just to watch the Antonio Brown fiasco.
Okay, all right, interesting. Deke, we haven't heard from you in a while, so what are you watching right now?
I took Chris's suggestion from last show, and I watched the Unsolved Mysteries. I watched all 5 of those episodes. I like that stuff. Pretty cool.
What do you think of Pistol Black in Cumming, Georgia? Ben's neck of the woods. That was episode 2.
Oh, yeah. I think that one is probably the largest mystery of all of them.
Right. Yep.
That the rest of them you can kind of figure out who did it. At least have a good idea and make a decision on your own. That one, I didn't really have any.
Was that the hotel one?
What's that?
No, that was the mom who was the hairdresser.
Yeah.
And then had the dad that basically disowned the son as soon as the wife went missing. And weird relationship there. The kid's name is Pistol Black or Black Pistol or something weird, something gun related. But that's in literally the city that Ben lives in is where that happened. So maybe Ben's out searching for clues.
The other interesting one on there's only 5 episodes, so that was kind of nice too.
Right.
But the UFO one.
So are you thumbs up or thumbs down on the UFO one?
What?
Are you thumbs up or thumbs down on the UFO one? I've heard mixed reviews on that one. Thumbs up? Yeah, because the rest are basically murder, somebody vanished type one. And then there's the one UFO one, which is just a wild story from multiple different people. So tough not to get sucked into that, but I have heard a lot of people didn't really like it. My favorite one was the dad that's now missing and the whole family died.
Oh, so yeah.
Whether or not the dad killed everybody
France.
And then went off. Yeah, that one was pretty wild. So without getting too far into those to give too much away, Unsolved Mysteries, definitely a recommendation. Anything else, Deke?
Yeah, I watched the Coney Island Kid, so it's just a documentary about Stephon Marbury.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting. It's about an hour and a half, 40 minutes on Netflix.
Okay.
It's just a kind of neat little, he was kind of just there and then gone off to China.
Right.
And the other cool, funny thing about it is they talk about Stephen Barry's in there a lot, because that's where his line was. And we all, I think, bought a number of things from Stephen Barry's over the years.
$15 shoes.
Yeah. But anyway, it was just an interesting sports documentary about him. Things you didn't know about him, kind of his upbringing and the man he is now. So that was cool. It's on Netflix. The Coney Island Kid.
All right, Chris, what are you watching?
Not much. I've been spoiled. We've had soccer starting at 7 a.m. here, and I can usually turn on Premier League at 10 a.m. just during the day and just have it on in the background. And by nighttime, now we got all kinds of sports going on. So it's I'm back. I feel good. But yeah. I guess we watched Hamilton this weekend on Disney. So I've seen it in person and I've seen it on Disney. It's great. I mean, if you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it.
That's on Disney Plus for those of you who don't know.
Yep. And then the Business of Drugs I just started, and it's on Netflix as well. I think it just came out recently, but honestly, it's all wild stuff. I love that just because it shows like the distribution and how much everything is, and just kind of where the price increases along the way. And it's a lot of backdrop information that you don't necessarily know about in that kind of world. So super interesting. Have enjoyed it so far. Only a couple episodes in.
Awesome. And you said that was on Netflix, right?
Netflix, yep.
All right. I know last episode I unloaded a boatload of shows, so I don't really remember what I all said and what I didn't say.
Well, you went through the entire lineup of Netflix and Hulu,
yeah,
so
you really watched the most TV of anybody, maybe on this planet.
Yeah. So I don't know if I talked about Old Guard, which was the Charlize Theron show movie. Not bad. Kind of people with special powers that don't die. So that was actually a pretty decent show. What I'm currently watching is, oh man, I can't think of the name of it. I was literally just watching it before we started. It's a show on Netflix. It was an AMC show. There's maybe like 4 seasons, and I'm in season 2. It's all about like developing computers and kind of the back before the big wave of personal computers hit. And it's not an IBM. It's not a Microsoft. It's sort of a third. It's somebody trying to come up with a new concept and be ahead of the curve while, and then there's all the different personal stuff going on. Something Halt. Man, that's really going to bother me. But it's on Netflix. It's not bad.
You watch so many shows, you can't even remember the title.
Right.
Unbelievable, people.
I'm sorry. While I'm talking about this, I'll try to look it up on my phone here. So the other show that I've been watching, I just finished it up. It's on Hulu. It's not a new show. It's actually an NBC show. It's Halt and Catch Fire is the AMC show that's on Netflix. Halt and Catch Fire. So that's about, if you're into like computer kind of stuff, it's kind of nerdy, but pretty good show, different storylines that all tie into it. The other one is called Songland, which Deke, I know, didn't really enjoy my tweet about it. Just a show I randomly found on Hulu. It's an NBC show. It's kind of a singing show, but it's geared towards the songwriters, and it's kind of the behind the scenes take on how a songwriter gets their song in the hands of a big time recording artist. And so what it is 4 people come in, and they're all songwriters. They perform their original songs, and you have a recording artist or group, and then 3 producers, and they're kind of like these top 3 producers in the industry, and they all give their immediate feedback, and they all kind of start workshopping the song right there. So the artist will give their take on, I wish this line said something more like this, or I wish the melody was more like this, and they'll play it and sing it right there in front of you. So you actually see how talented these people are to come up with these quick ideas right there on the spot. And the artist ultimately gets to pick 3 of the 4 to move on. And then they pair those 3 with each of the 3 producers. And then they work in their own studios to kind of refine that song that they performed and come up with, kind of take the hints and the suggestions of the artist and what would more fit them. And so they'll change the lyrics and melodies and all that sort of stuff to make it a better song for that particular artist. They come back and perform again. And then the artist gets to pick one of those 3 songs to actually record. And their songs are literally on Spotify. And they have season 1 had something like 260 million streams on different streaming platforms. So these are songs that you may have heard. There's 2 seasons of it. I was only able to listen to or watch episode 2. So and it's all different kinds of music. So there's pop, there's the guy who does the Despacito song. I don't know his name, but he had a new song on there, Lady A, and a couple different country people. Florida Georgia Line was on there. So it's pop, it's country, it's sort of some Latin music as well. Boyz II Men was on there, so you even get some classic R&B. Ben, there you go. So I thought it was pretty cool, but I really get into music, as you can see from my cool state-of-the-art sound studio that I have in my garage here. So I enjoyed it. So that's what I'm watching. I know Deke doesn't like it, but I don't care.
I don't like it. There's so many music shows on that I've watched a couple.
That's why I enjoyed it, because it was different from American Idol and The Voice, where it's just people singing songs that aren't theirs. You get to see the talent of the songwriters, and then you get to see the kind of how they can very quickly change a song from what somebody wrote on paper, and now we make it a song for Florida Georgia Line and what they like to do and different stuff like that. And you also get to see that I don't personally like Florida Georgia Line, but how talented that they actually are right there to pick up a guitar or a keyboard and start playing something that they've just heard one time. Pretty cool. It's just different. So not for everybody.
All things considered, I'm just happy it was another baking show for you. We'll listen to that.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So that's what you're watching, and we're gonna keep moving here. I know we had a lot to cover, so we're getting back into this thing. So bigger draft today. We're doing an MLB draft, current players. The format that we're going to do is you have to draft 2 pitchers, you have to draft 2 infielders, and you have to draft 2 outfielders. So that's how we're going to kind of go about this. And what I have here, if you guys can see it, is I have a Frisbee, and there's 4 different colors of chalk. So I see Deke there. Deke, you are going to be orange chalk. Chris, you're going to be purple chalk. Ben, you are going to be pink chalk, kind of goes with your shirt today. And I am going to be green chalk, kind of almost goes with my shirt today. So we're going to mix these around up here. And so we are picking last place color chalk first. So hopefully you guys remember. Purple. Who was purple? Chris or Deke?
Chris.
Okay, Chris, you are last. You are last pick. Second to last pick is pink, which was Ben. Second pick here. Ben, you're on mute. Okay. Is green, which was me, and so that would give the first number 1 pick to Deke. So give me 1 second as I clean up this chalk. Let me make the changes to our board here. And so, okay, we're going Deke. And then we are going with me and Chris, right? And then Ben, or Ben and Chris?
Ben, Chris.
Ben, Chris. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you guys know the format: 2 pitchers, 2 infielders, 2 outfielders. Doesn't matter what order you pick them. But with that, let me show the board just so everybody sees what we're working with. We'll give Deke 1 more second to figure out how he wants to pick Christian Yelich with his first pick. So there's the board: Deke, me, Ben, Chris. So Deke, is it Yelich with number 1?
I didn't see the board as an FYI, but yes, considering how Ben's draft went, I realized here that FI is a fast food draft. If I pick Christian Yelich, I literally could pick you guys for the rest of my team, and I'll win.
Oh, interesting. Deke calling his shot right off the bat with Christian Yelich. I think our viewers are a little bit better than that in this, that they will take the overall team aspect and see who has the best team, but we'll see. I mean, maybe you'll pick the best team, or maybe you just have Christian Yelich. So, okay, that makes it easy for me, because if I had the number 1 pick, I would have gone with Mike Trout. So I'm going to go Mike Trout with my first pick. And so that's going to take us right to Ben. Fast and Furious. Ben, who you got with the third pick?
I'll take Acuna.
Ronald Acuna from the Atlanta Braves. Young guy, big in the fantasy world. And those are kind of the top three. There's one more out there in terms of fantasy purposes that people typically pick in the first four. So, Chris, you got back-to-back picks. Who are you going with? You're muted.
Another fine. DeGrom, Jacob.
Well, we're going to go with Jacob DeGrom.
DeGrom. Same thing.
No, give him DeGrom. Whatever wedding he's going to, he gets DeGrom.
Yeah. We get whoever, there's a DeGrom in the minors or something, he's got him.
Oh, boy. Great pitcher for the Mets. He's right there on the board when you guys see it. He is the far right player. So we have three of the five guys from that picture taken. So, Chris, where are you going with pick number 5? That's also our first pitcher off the board.
Yeah, my mispronunciation reminds me of Drake at the ESPYs when he's like DeMar DeRozan. He's like, DeMar, I hear about it, the less I like it, in that little skit that he was doing. Yeah, whoops, my bad on DeGrom. We're going with Mookie Betts.
Okay, and he's going with the other one of the other players on the board. Mookie Betts just signed a huge contract to stay with the Dodgers. This is his first season not with the Red Sox, and he is playing with the Dodgers. So that brings us back to Ben. So, Ben, you got Ronald Acuna, who is an outfielder. Which direction are you going now?
I'm going to go with Mr. Lindor.
Francisco.
It's just fun to say. Francisco.
How do you spell Francisco? Is it Francisco? Okay.
Yep.
Francisco Lindor, shortstop for the Cleveland Indians. Good player. I think you reached a little bit there, but do I want to go pitcher? Do I want to go studs? I'm going to go Cody Bellinger. I was surprised he hasn't been taken already. He's kind of, in terms of fantasy, which I know that's not what this is about, but he's one of the first 4 taken. People argue that, I mean, he won the MVP in the NL last year. People argue that he's right there with Yelich. I don't necessarily agree. He's a better defender for sure. The hitting statistics are a little bit better for Yelich. So I'm happy to have Trout and Bellinger in my outfield. Deke, you have back-to-back picks, but give me the number 8 pick first, and then we'll show the board to update everybody.
So this guy actually is, I tune in to watch him. I love watching him pitch literally every pitch of the game, and that's Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. So that actually wraps up the amount, or not the amount. That wraps up all 4 guys that we have in the picture there. So we have Garrett Cole, Christian Yelich, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and DeGrom in the picture, or as some like to call him that are closer friends with him, DeGrom. Deke went with Christian Yelich and Garrett Cole. So he's got outfielder, pitcher. I went with 2 outfielders, Mike Trout, Cody Bellinger. Ben's got Ronald Acuna, outfielder, and shortstop, so infielder, Francisco Lindor. And Chris going with his best bud, Jacob DeGrom, as a pitcher, and outfielder, Mookie Betts. And so now we are going to wrap back with Deke's back-to-back pick, number 9 overall. And then we are going to go through rounds 3 and 4. So, Deke, who you got with the number 9 pick?
Nolan Arenado.
The third baseman from the Rockies. 1 second here. I hit a wrong button. Going with Nolan Arenado. Fun player to watch. Awesome defender at the hot corner. Right, so I don't have a list up, so I'm trying to go off pure memory here. I'm going to go with Mad Max. I'm going to take a picture off the board and go with Max Scherzer.
I like that.
Pitcher from, I think I spelled it right, Scherzzer.
Yep.
Max Scherzer from the Nationals. got touched up a little bit in his first outing of the year. So Ben, that's going to take us to you. You have an outfielder and an infielder. Which route are you going with your third pick?
Well, I was hoping to go with Scherzer there, but you snaked that one from me.
I like to hear that. That makes me happier than the pick itself, is knowing that somebody behind me was going to pick him.
I almost took him my second pick.
Then I'm getting value. I like it.
You guys took all the good players.
Apparently, I have all of them. Deke, you still feel confident? Okay, Ben's going with Bryce Harper. So as Ben rounds out his outfield with Bryce Harper, Deke, well, actually, I'll ask you after Chris's third pick, 12th overall. So, Chris, who are you going to go with?
We're going to go with Strasburg.
Ethan Strasburg.
Steven.
Oh, boy. That took the words out of my mouth. Not that I was going to say that, but I was going to say something else. And you just, hello, Steven. Little cable guy reference there. So, Deke, after 3 rounds with 3 to go, still confident that Yelich is going to carry you? Doesn't matter who you pick?
Yep. I might pick Ben next.
Do it.
Might pick some Barles. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I like it. I actually think I have the best team if I were picking pure baseball stuff here. So I'm loving my team, how it's shaping up. But Chris, you have back-to-back picks. You have the 13th pick overall, the start of round number 4. You currently have your pitchers are done and you have 1 outfielder. So you need 2 infielders and an outfielder.
Yep. So we're going to go with Giancarlo Stanton.
Interesting.
Giancarlo. That's Giancarlo.
You're a spelling bee champ over here.
It used to be a lot easier when his name was Mike, and then he changed it to Giancarlo. He's off to a red-hot start. He's got 2 homers. Last night, he absolutely crushed a ball. I think it came out, StatCast was like 121 miles per hour off the bat. Hit it about 460 to 480. Absolute missile. So Giancarlo Stanton rounds out your outfield, so you need 2 infielders with your last 2 picks. Ben, you have 2 outfielders and an infielder. You need 2 pitchers and an infielder yet. Yeah, I know.
I'm going to take the best pitcher in baseball in Clayton Kershaw.
He's still playing?
Wow.
He's still playing. Now, I would say maybe best resume career-wise. Currently best pitcher? I don't think
Regular
so.
season career.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, hasn't had the best postseason. Not a bad pick, but there were some other names that are out there, I'm going to take Justin Verlander here with this pick because that's who Ben should have taken. Kershaw did just get scratched from his outing yesterday, so starting off the year injured. I think he has a back issue. So that rounds out I have 2 outfielders and 2 pitchers taken. So Deke, to round out the 4th round, and before your back-to-back picks, give me 1 pick, the 16th overall, and then we'll show the board.
Not to be mistaken with Judge Judy, but I'm taking Aaron Judge.
Big old Judge. Aaron Judge, the outfielder from the New York Yankees, often marred by injury. But when he's hot, he is an absolute clubber. So that's how everything looks. Deke, Yelich, Cole, Arenado, and Judge. So he has, a pitcher and an infielder left. I have Trout, Bellinger, Scherzer, and Verlander, which leaves me with 2 infielders left to pick. Ben, Acuna, Lindor, Harper, Kershaw. He has a pitcher and an infielder left to pick. And Chris with DeGrom, Tomato, Betts, Strasburg, and Stanton. He has 2 infielders left to pick, same as me. So Chris and I will be battling it out. I get first pick at those infielders. Well, actually, Deke needs one too. So that's how we look through 4 rounds. and we have rounds 5 and 6 left. Deke leading us off with the 17th overall pick. So, Deke, where are you going?
Noah Syndergaard.
Oh, boy. Synyggaard? No, I missed something in there. Cinder.
The Y and the
It's
N were
Ryan, isn't it?
Syndergaard.
Yeah.
Boom.
Unbelievable.
So my spelling ability or the fact that he picked Syndergaard?
Well, your spelling ability is incredible. Syndergaard, yeah, it's a good pick.
Thor, as he is called for his long blonde hair, is a pitcher for the Mets. So 2 Mets pitchers taken, even though the Mets typically underperform. But they have 2 studs at the top of their rotation. Syndergaard throws it really fast. So I like Syndergaard. I like watching him toss the ball, throw the pill, pass the pill. No, that's basketball, isn't it?
Chuck that apple.
Chuck that apple, an apple tosser. How you like them apples? Let's see. I got 2 infielders to take, so I gotta run the numbers in my head here. Baez is somebody that comes to mind as a big-time infielder, cover of MLB The Show this year, but I absolutely hate the Cubs and I absolutely hate the Cardinals, so that takes Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, Wong, Carpenter, DeJong, all off my list. Also takes Goldschmidt and Rizzo I already said. So takes those guys off my list. I'm gonna go. Oh boy. Ben's got a good. I would have loved Francisco Lindor at this spot. That pick. I don't think Ben had a good pick there. I think Lindor fits in now.
Sounds like a good pick, though, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, he got one of the top infielders.
Just can't wait to see what minor leaguer Ben picks with his last pick.
Ben typically
late season call up.
Last 2 picks is where Ben typically struggles. And Jimmy Johns is right there on that board. I'm gonna go with Alex Bregman. I'm gonna go third baseman from the Houston Astros. I know they're marred by scandal, but I think he was a top what do they call him, prospect coming up, and took him about a year to 2 years to really get going, but he is a staple in the middle of that Houston Astros lineup. Typically bats 3rd or 4th for them. So going with Bregman. Ben, what do you got? A pitcher and infielder?
Yep. I am going to go with my infielder position, and I am going to go Manny Machado.
Oh.
Boo. Boo.
And that was for Machado, not for you, Ben. Sorry.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Totally.
Ben, please explain the pick, because obviously there is a lot of bad blood between Milwaukee Brewer fans and Manny Machado from the playoffs. And typically somebody who has come out and said that he's not going to hustle every day and he's not going to hustle out every at bat has always kind of been that prima donna, pretty boy, look at me type player. Why Manny Machado?
Because everything you just said is me. Pretty boy, look at me, all those things. Okay? Manny Machado is the athletic version of me.
I cannot fault you at all for that. Dave Steinbach is going to eat that up. He probably got his vote just with that comeback. Touche, good sir. Touche. Wow, funny. So also good pick taking your infielder there, because I had just taken one and Chris has to take 2 infielders here back to back. So Chris, that takes us to you, the 20th and 21st pick overall. Which 2 infielders are you going to go with?
Brewer update 0-0 end of first.
Ooh, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You can't see it in the background? I got to do a better job with that next time. 0-0 end of first.
It's offset. Yeah, I can't.
I got you. My pick, I'm going to go with, is Xander Bogaerts still around?
Xander is there.
Okay.
Shortstop for the Boston Red Sox. BOEG. Who is it? ER or AR? I'm going to go, because it's Bogarts, I'm going to go ARTS.
No, you got both of them in there, actually. It's BOGAERTS.
OGAE. Dang it. Well, you live and learn. Xander Bogaerts off the board. So, Chris, rounding out your team first, you have to pick an infielder. Who are you going with? We see
we got three guys written down.
Is the Nino going to come off the board here? Maybe then Deke will finally buy us our jerseys.
I'm all good.
Jerseys.
I'm going to go with Anthony. Is it Rendon?
Rendon, yep.
God,
Anthony Rendon, who was a big staple in the Nationals lineup, is now the third baseman for the Angels, paired with Mike Trout. However, he is starting off the year. He is currently sitting, not for anything performance related. He is dealing with an oblique injury, so he is not quite playing yet. So Chris rounds out his squad. Ben, you have to pick a pitcher, correct?
That is correct.
Nice. That is a Billy Madison reference?
I believe so.
Chris
I
Farley
do it
and
so
Billy
many
Madison
times I've forgotten.
in the
Yeah.
tent? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ben,
So-
with your pitcher, who are you going to go with?
Are we doing relief pitchers as well, or starting pitchers only?
It can be any pitcher you want. I mean, we could put it up to a vote. I would vote it's any pitcher. It's however you want to construct your team.
Okay. I will take Josh Hader then, little home Bruin.
I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing, because there are people who, I mean, he's good, right? He has the stats, the Ks per 9 and all that, but there are people who are starting to lose. He's losing his luster amongst Brewer fans as he has started to give up more and more home runs. So hopefully that is not the case. I hope for Ben's sake in this draft, but also for the Brewer season, that he turns things around. And maybe that has to do with getting Knebel back, and maybe he's not the closer. Maybe he's the 8th inning guy or the 7th, 8th inning guy, and Knebel, once he's fully back, can be the closer again. But we'll see how that all pans out. So I don't think it's a bad pick. I don't think you're going to get the Wisconsin love that Deke's getting with Yelich. But nice to see another Brewer on the board.
Joshy Fastball.
Joshy Fastball, is that his Twitter handle that I should know?
That's my nickname for him.
Joshy Fastball, okay. I'm going to go, I want to pick Jose Martinez, or I'm sorry, Jose Ramirez from the Indians. I don't think that the name notoriety is there. Same with Rafael Devers from the Red Sox. So I'm going to go with the reigning home run champ. I'm going to go with the polar bear. I'm going to go with Pete Alonso. I believe was he rookie of the year as well? And home run champ, hit 50 some odd bombs. Home run champ, home run derby champ, rookie of the year, Pete Alonso. 3 Mets players, yeah. And you know what? In terms of fantasy, in terms of actual baseball, they're all really good players. It's funny that they can't ever put it together. Maybe this is their year. So, Deke, you are going to round out the entire draft with the last pick. And what do you need? You need an infielder? Yes, an infielder.
Yeah, that was a swipe or no swiping on that one, too. I was taking him.
Ooh, I like it.
So, this may be a little bit.
Also, nice on the Dora the Explorer, Dora the Explorer reference. Maybe the other two wouldn't get that as non-fathers, but swiper no swiping is a common phrase that when you guys have kids, and for those of you out there who do, you probably know.
We know Dora. And
Ben
Odor.
don't know.
Ben, do you know Dora? Yeah, Ben doesn't know
I
Dora.
know Scooby Doo.
Okay,
quite.
Shaggy. Ben will actually watch like Scooby-Doo like shows and movies now. It's not something
Yeah, that's
that he
what I
watched.
mean.
Yeah, it's not something he watches with little kids, you know, when he's like babysitting or there's little
I
kids
hope not.
that come to visit. Ben just watches Scooby-Doo.
Classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sometimes are on the TV just for no reason. I mean, why not?
And a nice little show called Entourage. So,
Yeah.
Deke, we've given you a little time. Do you have that infielder? Do you need some help? I named a couple.
No.
Arcia
You
won
did
3 for 3 opening night.
You got Freeman,
Yeah.
Dory,
Deke, yeah, you
Chapman.
could go more Brewer love because you claim that Yelich is winning this, so why not go Orlando Arcia and put your money where your mouth is? You also picked the Reds to be a dark horse World Series winner, so you could go somebody like Joey Votto or the Moose. You could go Moose as their second baseman.
Yeah, I think I'm going Trevor Story.
Trevor Story, the shortstop for the Colorado Rockies. Deke with 2 Rockies on his team. Story prone to strike out, but he actually typically hits for a fairly decent average, steals some bases, and a big home run hitter, obviously, in Coors Field. So that rounds it out. Let me show the board here so everybody can see how it wrapped up. That was a fun one, pretty quick. Deke went with Yelich, Cole, Arenado, Judge, Syndergaard, and Story. I have Trout, Bellinger, Scherzer, Verlander, Bregman, Alonso, Ben, Acuna, Lindor, Harper, Kershaw, Machado, Hader, and Chris with DeGrom, Betts, Strasburg, Stanton, Bogarts, and Rendon. So that's how it all wraps up in our MLB draft. 2 pitchers, 2 infielders, 2 outfielders. The typical question now, we'll start with Deke because I see you on the screen. Whose team, other than your own, that you think is a front runner with Yelich, which you may be right, but other than the other 3, who is the front runner in your eyes?
I think your team, Jason. But the Trout Bellinger outfield is pretty solid. And then Max Scherzer as a pitcher. I think you're the front runner.
But you still think that you're going to win no matter what, right? You're not giving it up to me.
Well, no, I got Yelich, so it doesn't matter. Yelich is a Culver's.
Hey, don't get too excited.
And you, I'm there with you. Yeah, but you just sounded very down about having to pick me as the front runner. So I thought maybe you were starting some confidence in your own squad.
I can't see picks 4 and 5. So that's why I was struggling with that. Because the control panel goes over those 2 picks when I'm trying to look at them.
DeGrom and Betts?
Well, who's your 4th and 5th pick?
I see. Mine are Verlander and Bregman. Yeah. So you're talking everybody's 4th pick. So yeah, it's Verlander, Bregman, Ben, Kershaw, Machado, Chris, Stanton, and Bogarts.
Yeah, it's definitely not Ben. Kershaw, Machado, no. What was Chris's?
Stanton, Bogarts, and then finish it out with Rendon.
Yeah, I see the last pick. Yeah, I still got you. I think your team is solid. If it wasn't for Yelich on my team, I think you'd definitely be the full out front runner.
I'll agree with that. I really, really like my team. With that, I'll go with I'm torn between Chris and Deke. I don't like Ben's Hader pick. Well, Ben's Hader pick, he's only going to pitch when they're winning, right? Or if it's a close game. So I like Hader. Again, Kershaw, Machado, I don't know that those are especially because you could have taken Verlander. Yeah. I'm going to I like Chris's picks better. DeGrom, Cole are pretty even. Betts is good. Strasburg slight edge over Syndergaard. I'm going to go. Well, if Judge can stay healthy, he has the edge over Stanton. But Actually, both of those two are typically either at the same time or one or the other. And then I'll give them the edge, Rendon over Story. I like Rendon. So I'll go Chris with my favorite. So Ben, nobody likes your team. Ben, I'll actually give you the option to pick your own team, but who do you think is the front runner?
I can't pick my own team. That's not right.
Well, nobody else is going to, so I was giving you the option to maybe get yourself one vote from our.
That's
squad.
right. We'll let the fans take my team. They'll see through it. If I had to take someone else, though, I'd probably lean towards you with Trout and Bellinger at your top two.
You're right. The fans did. They did let us know last week when nobody picked your squad due to Sabaro, and the fans spoke and they picked you number one. Now, that was leaning on Culver's. So I don't know that you have a Culver's pick on your roster this week. So you got a few Sabaros and a couple Jimmy Johns in there and maybe one Popeyes. So Chris, to round us out, who do you like other than your squad?
Jason's got the best team out of any of them. I don't
like
it. It is what it is.
I don't like having everybody's vote because that happened to Chris.
They might
last
not
week.
Like your Verlander. Like, how old is Verlander now?
He's older.
He's old, but between Trout, Bellinger, and Bregman, I mean, that's a pretty stellar combo. So you definitely have a little edge there. We'll see about the names that people like.
My players are hitting a boatload of home runs, and my pitchers are getting a boatload of strikeouts. So I like my squad. All right. Well, any other final thoughts? Let's get an update on the Brewer game.
Cubs
Any
just
hits?
hit a double. Cubs just hit a double to lead off the second. Brewers had a goose egg at the top of the second. 0-0.
Okay. 0-0 in the second. So we're all going to get to that. And we gave you an update on all the major sports that are currently playing. So we'll continue to do that. And if there's anything else that you guys want to see or hear about, we can give updates on standings as we get more into certainly the baseball season. And then as the basketball season starts to roll out here on Thursday, and then Chris will give us updates on the tournament. So Chris, is the tournament going to end? Like how, because they're starting back up in less than a month, how quickly does that tournament end because it's one and done?
Yeah, it ends August 11th. So within the next 2 weeks, it'll be done. Okay,
so we'll have a couple updates on that tournament, how that's going, how that those cash payouts go. And hopefully our guy Ethan can continue to contribute to his squad. And then Ben is going to give us, obviously we're coming to you on Sundays, so he will give you sort of an update on how things are going in the final round of the current tournament. So Ben, with that, how is it looking? Current update on today's tournament? Is Finau still there?
Finau is actually one back of the lead right now. There's one tied right now at one tied. That doesn't make any sense. That's funny.
It really doesn't.
There's one person at 16 under, Michael Thompson. Two guys close right behind. There's a pack at about 14 under. So still got most of the back nine to go. So a lot of golf.
Cool. All right. And so Ben will give us updates on the current tournament on that Sunday, and then kind of give us a preview of what's to come in the tournaments to be. And we'll probably throw in another 2-man draft when in 2 weeks, you said there's a major. So we'll probably do one for that. And then I think we'll probably do a starting 5 current NBA players now that the NBA season is going to kick off. So that'll probably be next Sunday's draft, unless somebody comes up with a different idea. But with that, we're gonna wrap this up. Episode 12 is in the books, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Please check out the draft on Twitter at @rest_field. Give us those votes. There's one final look at the board, and you'll see everything on the Twitter post as well. So thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. Check out past episodes if you missed some. We are the Rest of the Field. I am Jason Gorman with Chris Weiler, Deke, and Ben Christensen. That's all we got for this week. We are out.